We'll now take questions from the audience. Good morning, Dr. Hernandez.
Good morning.
What is the academic emphasis or emphases of your program, and what does it prepare graduate students to do?
Our program or set of programs really are designed to prepare students to become strong professional counselors in mental health, school, and college and university counseling settings.
What is your program's accreditation, and why is it important to study in a nationally accredited graduate program in your field?
You know, I think that's a really good question that probably a lot of students ask themselves. In truth, one of the most important things to think about when you're preparing yourself to become a counselor is to make sure that the training that you receive is of the highest quality, and that is actually being monitored on a national and perhaps even an international level. We are CACREP accredited, and that is a national accreditation, and that accreditation allows us or helps us actually to become a stronger, more perhaps a better prepared program to be able to train our students to become strong, effective counselors in the settings that I just described.
Great, thank you. What academic and or work experience do prospective students need for your program?
One of the beauties of the profession of counseling is that rather than to expect that students have or come to us with a specific set of coursework or experiences, we are looking for specific sets of skills that individuals will have. So, well, one of the things that we look for isn't a transcript of specific coursework. So you're not going to find specific requirements for the program. A lot of people think that in order to become a school counselor or a mental health counselor or a college counselor that you need to have an undergraduate degree as in psychology or perhaps in sociology, and that's just not the case. We are looking for individuals who truly have the desire to help others and who have the skills to be prepared as good and solid counselors, professional counselors.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez. I have a question regarding the application process.
I bet you
do.
do.
What can prospective students do to strengthen their applications? What should they avoid in these applications?
I think that one of the most important things about an application to our program is that you focus on a real honest appraisal of who you are and what skills you bring to the table as a potential counselor. One of the things that we focus on most in our program, which is perhaps a uniqueness among counselor education programs, is that we really focus on the self of the counselor. And so we really look for an individual to come to us expressing honestly who they are, what brought them to the profession of counseling, and what are the motivations that you have or that the student has to this particular profession. So a real honesty in that regard, I think, is really going to be helpful. In addition, though, one of the things that we focus on is the strength of our academics. And so we're really going to look for a well-written essay in your application form, and we're going to look for really strong letters of recommendation.
Great, and to dovetail on that, whom should applicants ask for letters of recommendation, and what should those letters include?
That's a good question. I think that one of the things that we look for in letters of recommendation is I think the ability for an individual to be able to be prepared to do either the practice of counseling or the academic work associated with graduate work. So we really are looking for an appraisal of a student's ability to do that kind of work. So how a professor is, or a previous professor is a good person to go to as a possible recommender. A good reference would also be a previous employer, somebody who could speak to your skills not only as an individual but also as an individual or a part of a team. Those are going to be things that we're going to be looking for in our application form.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Here's a question regarding graduate education experience. What is the educational experience for students in your program?
We are a highly experiential program, and what I mean by that is that we strongly encourage our students not only to become good purveyors of the knowledge of counseling, or to read an awful lot about counseling, but we want you to practice it, and we want you to have the opportunity to practice it in the context of our experience in the classroom. So each and every class that we teach and that we offer is going to have an experiential component where you are actually going to practice the craft of counseling in a safe setting. So I think that one of the things that our students will see as they move through our program is not only the development of theoretical knowledge, but also the ability to do the work of a counselor as a practitioner and actually practice it throughout each and every course that you do.
Great, thank you. What are the academic specialties of your faculty, and what opportunities do graduate students have to work directly with those faculty?
I think I'm going to start with the latter portion of that question first. One of the things that we pride ourselves on in our department is I think our strong student orientation. We want our students not only to engage in their classroom activities, but also to engage with the profession of counseling outside of the class. So we offer all of our students the opportunity to engage in writing, in presentation at conferences, local, regional, national, and international conferences, I might add, but also to engage in research projects with faculty. One of the things that students have found throughout my time here at Brockport is that this program really offers them the opportunity to not only engage in a faculty member's research, but also to present the idea of a specific research project to a faculty member and have the faculty member work with them on the development of that particular project and actually engage in that research themselves, and ultimately publish it, present about it at conferences. It's a really exciting opportunity for all of our students, and we really encourage all of our students to engage in that way.
Great, and can you give us some of the academic specialties of your faculty?
Yes, part one. The faculty have, perhaps one of the things I should say about our faculty is that we are all unique individuals, and we all come to the counseling profession with different specialty areas. We see that as a real strength because it allows our students to develop those same kinds of specialties in themselves. That they see themselves as as sort of opportunistic engagers, if you will. They have the opportunity to choose what it is that they see as important in their research, in their own work as counselors. Our faculty are well known in the fields of school counseling, college counseling, and career counseling, in feminist counseling, and also in the area of qualitative research. So you're going to see a lot of different kinds of specializations throughout the course of your experience if you come to Brockport. And I think that's one of the most important parts about who this department is and how it can be important to you as a student.
Thank you. You touched on this previously before. We can go back and discuss it a little further. How does your program prepare students for professional employment and/or PhD study?
Well, I think one of the ways that we do that is to encourage our students to engage in research, and I think I've talked a little bit about that. But I think that's one of the ways that students who might not have thought about PhD work or doctoral work, or perhaps even entering the professoriate, how they might engage in that kind of work in ways that they may never have thought would be possible for them. I'm currently working with several students who are interested now in publishing some of their work, their work that they've been engaging in as students in our program, but at the same time are now starting to think about engaging in their doctoral work at other universities. So, and these are individuals who never thought that they would be thinking about doctoral study at this point in their careers. So it's really very exciting for us to be able to support students as they move towards that place of being a PhD if they so choose.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about field placement for students?
Our students all engage in a 600-hour internship. That's a 2-semester long internship, and our faculty, we assist the students in developing a plan for that internship and also in identifying an internship placement that really meets their needs. Each individual student has a very different idea of what it is that they want to engage in terms of their practice of counseling. Their counseling practice is going to look different from one student to the next. So we don't have a cookie cutter way of taking our students and placing them out in the community and engaging in their internship. It's not just about doing the internship. It's about having that internship become part of your own experience. And so one of the things that we try to do with our students is to help them to identify those areas of expertise that are going to be of importance to them, and also to help them find that placement that's really going to meet their needs. And each student is going to be different. And that's one of the things that that we're really proud of.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez. What are some specific examples of the varied careers your graduates have pursued, and how did your program prepare them for those careers?
Well, the easy answer for that is for me to say, well, we have students who are mental health counselors, and we have some who are college counselors, and we have some who are school counselors. But the truth of the matter is that, again, just as I'm talking about each one of our students as being a unique individual, they take the knowledge that they gain and the experience that they gain in our program, and they apply that to the counseling profession in very, very unique ways. So we have college counseling students who work in counseling centers on college campuses, some who have gone to get their doctorates and are now working as directors of counseling centers on college campuses, some who work in student affairs areas and do work in advisement or in career counseling centers. We have school counselors who are not only engaging in frontline school counseling, but also in supervisory levels, and also as directors of guidance or directors of counseling for school districts. And we also have mental health counselors who are engaging in different kinds of agencies, some working with adolescents, some with children, and some with adult populations, and also with addictions and in addictions work, that is. So I think you'll find that if you are looking for a specific kind of work, you'll be able to engage in that kind of work once you graduate from our program.
Thank you. And as we prepare to conclude, is there anything else that you would like to tell us about the master's program in counselor education?
I think the one thing that I would tell you is that we are a welcoming group of faculty. We intentionally keep our faculty and our size small so that we can develop relationships with our students. We want to be able to know you as a person. That's important to us. And so I would encourage you to contact me if you have any questions, or any of the faculty for that matter. We'd be more than happy to answer any additional questions that might be perhaps more germane to your situation. So please don't hesitate to contact me or to come by my office. My door is always open.
Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Hernandez.
It's a pleasure.